My name is Ben Azoulay, known as King Azoulay. Whoever is at home listening right now, don't get distracted. Go tunnel vision. Do what you love to do. Do it with a passion. But I want you to remember one thing. It drives me crazy. For example, you could see somebody getting a cut on their finger and going, oh, it's a cut, he's bleeding. No problem. But their phone falls and they freak out. Right? And like the phone you could replace, the cut you couldn't,
Yes.
right? It's your hands.
You know what we want in life, we go out there and we get it.
Going back to entrepreneurship, what do you think is the biggest lie about entrepreneurship that people still believe?
Well, they believe that it's a happy time. They believe that being an entrepreneur, you're
Thank
going
you.
to feel great all the time.
Yes.
We go through pressure 24/7. I have to calm myself sitting in the ice. Okay, we're live.
Welcome to another episode of the $1 Million Branders podcast. Today we have a very special guest who I had the honor of interviewing. However, not the same energy because it was over Zoom. And today we get to capture his incredible energy. We've got, I'm going to call you King Ben Azoulay. Welcome to the show. And it's so good to finally meet you.
Thank you. It's been a while, huh?
It has.
How long has it been since the last podcast?
Long time, but I feel like you keep going. You're doing amazing things and so excited. I feel like I know you though. Maybe it's the Jewish Israeli vibe.
It's because you watch me so much. You already know everything that I do. You're like,
could be.
I know what time he wakes up. I know when he goes to sleep. I know what books he reads. Matter of fact, the King's Shot.
Exactly.
You know, oh, now it's the steak time. You go on, you're like, oh, yes, it's the steak time.
And I love that. Like, I think you really are giving people an insight into a real person in your life, which is very rare for social media because let's just say there are a lot of movers and shakers who aren't really moving and shaking in
Right.
real life, you know, you get my
Right.
vibe. But it's such an honor to have you on the podcast today. And I hope you're ready because hopefully we throw a spanner in the works and people see a little bit about like what I see and catches you a little bit off guard. However, I don't know about that. So I feel like you're ready for any boomerangs we throw to you. So are you ready, Ben?
I am ready, and I'm happy to be here, and thank you for having me.
Of
I always
course.
enjoy these. And I'm happy to meet you in person for the first time, you know.
I know, it's so
Last
cool.
time we did a podcast, we spent like 2 hours on Zoom.
Exactly.
But it's completely different. Now we're here, we're in the studio. This is awesome. So I'm
It is
ready to be
awesome.
100% honest with everybody, give them the spiel, and hopefully we can inspire people.
And I love your energy because I know you've just been in traffic for about 2 hours. So
Yes.
pretty awesome, actually. Like, he's so relaxed and he's been driving in traffic with his beautiful wife. So I don't know how you do it, but you're very chilled. And it's so cool to actually, it's different when you meet someone in person, you feel their energy always. So
Definitely. And I think also after, I don't know what, it's been a year at least since we've done the podcast.
yes.
You know, being on social media and seeing how many people suffer and they need good people on social media, but we are missing so many good people.
I agree.
That it humbled me down to the point that even when someone says something very negative to me, I send him love.
Yes.
I say, hey, you know what? I understand what you're going through. It's okay. Just know I've never done anything wrong to you.
I love it. I love it.
It's been helping out a lot, you know. I gained their trust. I gained their love because it's hard for them to even understand who I am. They just see a guy that's bearded. He's got muscles. He's got tattoos, you know. He looks like he's a tough guy. And of course, every man that you see out there that does look like me is a tough guy because he had to fight battles that got him tough to get to the point where he's at today. And the people who didn't fight through that could have looked the same as I looked. The problem is that they took it more on the victim side and they went back and ended up in the hiding. Some ended up killing themselves. If people go through what I went through, there's people that just committed suicide because of things like that, you know? So things that I've been through has definitely, there was either it's going to make me or
break
it's
you.
going to break me.
And I love that because that is the true spirit, not just of an entrepreneur, but a very powerful person. And
Yeah.
it takes a lot together. But let's talk about your toughest battle. What was it?
Well, everything started at a young age, you know, different battles throughout my life. I think the toughest battle was to get up on my feet when my dad kicked me out of the house.
How old were
And
you,
I was
for people
homeless.
who don't know?
I was 17. You know, I think that was the toughest battle because I found myself alone. I didn't find myself with anybody. Nobody truly wanted to help me or give me anything. And that's also when I realized nobody was coming to save me. And I had two options. I had the option to quit and die on the streets, or I had the option to fight. And I did fight. Then I got in trouble for fighting, and I spent multiple times in jail, you know. And then last time when I did my 19th birthday in jail, I said, I'm not coming back here. I was in the hole. And I said, I'm not coming back here, you know. And in jail, I mean, it's not as bad as it seems.
Yes.
You get used to every kind of environment. So when I was homeless, sleeping under a tree, it was bad the first 2 days, 3 days. After that, it just becomes the norm. So if anybody wants to do anything in their life, they just have to do it, because then it becomes the norm. If you decide to open up a business, just do it. You'll do it, and it might be hard in the beginning, but then it becomes the norm.
It shapes your soul and it's character building.
Yes.
But out of all those moments, what is the one moment that really, really shaped who King Ben Azoulay is today? That gut-wrenching moment that you were in a moment where you could have gone left or you could have gone right. Your hardest moment, what was that for you?
So I think when I spent my 19th birthday in the hole, when I came out, I had an option to become one of the baddest guys in the jail or figure out a way to get out. And I swore, I made a deal with God that I will never, ever, ever come back there again. He will never see me there. I will go out and I will change my life, and I will leave the gangster life aside. I'll put it aside completely, and I'll move towards doing greatness in the world.
What do you think in 2025 is one of the most challenging things that people are facing in terms of character building?
So it drives me crazy. For example, you could see somebody getting a cut on their finger and going, oh, it's a cut, he's bleeding, no problem. But their phone falls and they freak out, right? And like the phone you could replace, the cut you couldn't, right?
Yes.
It's your hands. People don't care about their bodies. They don't understand what their bodies are even meant for.
Yes.
So they don't challenge their bodies. They don't push their bodies. They don't feed their bodies well. And all of that builds a character. When I have a craving for something and I don't eat it, and I say, King, I challenge you now not to eat this, and you're going to eat a steak instead.
Yes.
Or now we're going to go on a 7-day water fast so we could clean out the system. We could reverse aging. We could go through the process of targeting different genes and unlocking them only by fasting. And we're going to remove cancer cells from the body. If you go enough days without food and just water, the body will start eating up all the bad cells, and cancer cells are bad cells. So I do that yearly. I go through the challenge. I go to the gym every single morning. I go for a run every single morning.
Love it. Important.
I get in the ice bath. People are like, why are you in the ice? Forget all the benefits that I get from the ice. But the fact that I could sit in the ice where people freak out.
It's mental.
And I'm calm. If I could be calm under that kind of pressure, I could be calm in any kind of pressure. And I take that and I apply it into my business life. People look at me and say, well, this guy has money. Guys, I'm a poor man with money. I'm a poor man that just happens to have money. That's all it is. Inside my heart, I don't feel like I need an AP. I don't need a Lambo. I don't need a penthouse that I just moved into. I don't. I literally just get it, and be honest with you, I think maybe I'm a little bit brainwashed from society, you know? But if you really ask me, all I need is my wife. I need a good home. I could stay away from the world. I don't need a car. I could probably walk to wherever I need to go to, and I don't need people. I could go be alone. And
so unique.
I'll ask you this. When was the last time you spent an hour with yourself not touching your phone, not thinking about what it is that you have to do, and just asking yourself, how is Justine doing?
Well, I'll tell you something very interesting, Ben. The beginning of the year, I did something called the Hoffman process. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
So it's a 7-day retreat, no phones, no music, nothing, in a place called Byron Bay. You're going to have to bring your beautiful wife. Have you heard of Byron?
No.
Okay. So 7 days, like, it was actually funny because towards the end of the retreat, we didn't even have electricity because all the electricity in Byron Bay shut down. And I sat with myself for 7 days. And now when people say, because I come from the bodybuilding background too.
Yes.
So I resonate with you on this so much because fitness and health is everything to me and it's discipline. But this retreat was the first time in years for 7 days that I sat with myself. And when people asked me what it was like, I said to them, it's like doing a bodybuilding competition in your head. That's why when you talk about the ice bath and you've got such a calm energy. I think in today's times, whether you're building a business or whether you are doing a bodybuilding comp or in general, it's one of the most important lessons.
If I could tell anybody at home about bodybuilding, don't ever step into bodybuilding. Don't ever go in there. You suffer so much.
Yes.
You kill your body, you destroy your body.
Yes.
So I don't think any woman should be in bodybuilding at all.
Been there, done that.
Right?
Yes.
And then men, honestly, if you're not thinking you're going to become Mr. Olympia, don't get into the bodybuilding world. Definitely don't want to have that. You want to stay healthy, you want to be strong. And when people see me go to the gym, they ask, why do you go to the gym? What's the reason that you go to the gym? And of course, it's the discipline. But a strong body means a strong mind.
Yes.
A strong mind means a strong body. If my mind and my body is strong, then they're also healthy.
I agree.
Weak mind, weak body. When you see people out there that have a lot of money, but they don't have a good body, which means they're not taking care of themselves, they're eating shit food.
Yes.
They're drinking whatever they want. They're abusing the body. You betray your body, eventually the body will betray you back.
I agree.
And it's sad.
And let's talk about that because I think, I don't like to call it laziness, right? But let's face it, there are a lot of lazy people out there that make excuses. I don't have the time. A lot of excuses. I don't have, I can't do it at this time or that time. What message do you have for them? People
that go to the gym 5 to 7 days a week don't have more time than you do.
Yes.
They have the exact same time. They have the exact same 24 hours. It's just like when I built businesses and I knew nothing about businesses. But people would say, well, he probably came from a business background. No, my dad didn't own any businesses. My dad was just hustling. Literally, my dad was hustling throughout my whole childhood. But what I saw was somebody that was getting up every single morning and going to work and doing whatever he needed to do. I was a high school dropout, but I also got kicked out of 17 schools in total.
Yes, wow.
17 schools. But I never let school get in the way of my education because I don't believe in school. You know what I mean? I was an F student, and I've told this before. I think F students are the creators of the world.
I agree. I don't believe in school either.
The A students,
same. Yep.
A students are my number one employees.
Yeah.
B are my managers. You know?
They got swag.
The C, those are the ones that are like almost an owner. They're on the verge of becoming a business owner to being a manager. And then you have the D, that those are business owners.
Yes.
And then you have the F, and the F are the ones that create new inventions for the world.
And change the world.
Change the world completely.
Yes.
But as long as you understand that school does not let you forget about educating yourself. So you don't want school, no problem. I'm all for that. Whatever they teach you today, you don't really need it. You're not going to use it later on in life. Who cares about the Boston Tea Party? And let's not forget that they probably reshaped the reality of whatever history was, right? They could write whatever they want in their books. We weren't there. We don't know. So if they could reshape the reality of what it was in the past and history, and even today, they could reshape the reality of really what's happening and tell you that this is good and this is bad, when it's the opposite, but it's whoever's controlling the media.
And this is one thing I have to say, Ben, that I love about you, because there are people who walk through this life, you know, who go to work, they sit in a box, they go home in a box, which is their car, they eat lunch at their desk, which is a box, and they go home and watch a box, which is a TV. Right. But you walk through life, and one of the most fascinating things I find about you is that you question everything.
I do.
And it's like, how do I make myself better? How do I do this differently? How, even with social media and how you show up. So firstly, I'm going to say thank you for doing that. But I'm also going to ask you, what realities this year are you questioning? And what have been some of the hardest things that you have questioned in yourself and the world?
So things are seeming to form back to the way I would want them to be, right? For example, right now they're talking about people not paying taxes. I've always talked about taxes being a scam.
Yes.
You know, I talked about it big time. Taxes is 100% a scam.
Yes.
If the U.S., for example, making you pay taxes, why do you have to work 6 months out of the year for Uncle Sam? Which that company, it's an offshore company, the IRS, which was formed back in like 1912, and that is a business. Now, by law, you don't have to report taxes and you don't have to do your taxes.
I'm just looking.
There is no law.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm looking to see if there's any cops around.
There is no law that you have to pay taxes or do your taxes or file your taxes.
Yeah.
So the truth is, it's a full scam. And then they tax you on your food. They tax you on what you buy. They tax you on what you own. You have a house, now you have to pay property tax. But you already paid for the house. You're already also paying interest on the money that they lend you. So you buy a $1 million home, you're going to pay $2.5 million after 30 years. Who you're paying it to? The people who are printing money. Who's printing money? The feds. And they're also, if they print money, why do they need our money? Oh, the government, we need it for the roads. But what about the tax they put on the gas?
Yes.
But we need it for the schools. Well, every time you buy a house or you build a house here, you pay school fees. I never went to school. Right now, we're about to start building our house. There's school fees. The school fees are like $15,000. I never went to school. I was like, hey, guys, I never went to school. What are you talking about? There's a homeless fee. The homeless fee is $70,000 right now. So if those things could change, even when you die, they tax you on your money. Let's call it state tax, you know? So it's like crazy that they tax you. And even when you gift somebody something, they have to report it and they could tax you on that as well. So it sucks. And I think it's about that time. So that's starting to change towards there. I'm happy that everybody understands that COVID wasn't real, that it was BS. They still call me and say, hey, do you want to get your COVID shot? No, what are you talking about? You want to put that in my body? I told everybody it's BS. And the worst thing about it, when they open up the restaurants, they're like, oh, you know, you have to wear a mask, but when you eat, you can take off your mask. But if you go to the bathroom, you have to put your mask back on. So wait, does COVID hit only at a height level of a normal person? What do you mean? When I stand up, there is COVID. When I sit down, there isn't? Like COVID isn't 4 feet tall. It must be like a minimum of 5-6 feet. You know?
That's hilarious.
It was crazy. And
Try
then
living in Australia. We were so far away. We couldn't travel for like 2 years.
Listen, they wanted me to wear masks. I told them, F you, I'm not wearing a mask. No problem. I won't come into your shop. I gave everybody a hard time. I didn't care. You know, they want to give you the injection. The injection for what?
Yes.
They don't have enough tests on it. For what reason are you going to inject me? And let's not forget to mention that when you ask a normal question like, okay, you must get the COVID shot, let's say if you work at a place. All right. Well, what if I don't want to? Well, you could die. Well, what if I want to die from COVID? Well, now you're going to hurt other people. But how can I hurt them if they got the shot? Aren't they saved? You know what I mean?
Got you. Yeah.
Where are we? Like, are people that dumb? You're not stupid. Open your eyes. Look, and I'll tell this to everybody, I don't say break the law. Do not break the law. Okay? Breaking the law is bad. But you don't have to follow the law.
It's a very interesting concept, what you're talking about.
And some people will look at me, and obviously some people are as square as this TV. they don't think
It's outside the box.
outside the box. They're in the box. I've never watched the news.
Yes.
I've never watched the news. My mom could sit in front of the news and cry because they're showing her bullshit that is happening. Why would I watch that?
I don't watch news. So
Why would they put that on the news? Why don't they put on the news all the great things that are happening?
Yes.
All the new inventions that are happening, how the world is changing to a better place. Things like that. You know, the flowers are blooming. Something nice. Why is it always bad, 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 bad? The news. You know, they're indoctrinating you. They're brainwashing you. They're putting you through fears. When people work in fears, they have limits. They limit themselves. You know? And it's sad to see how much people limit themselves. And I see it from my followers. Where they reach out, they're like, you know, this video really hit me. And I'm like, it's amazing that I could just put on a video and I could change your life.
Yeah. And you're doing amazing things in terms of your business, the magnetism, the money, the muscles. I know you got to go check out Ben's website, which is awesome. But let's go gangster for a second, can we?
Yeah, of course.
If you are enjoying this episode, if you have gotten value from this episode and it has changed your life by teaching you things, I'm going to ask you a huge favor. If you would subscribe, like, follow, and share with people so we can bring more incredible guests to the $1 Million Branders podcast to serve you better, so you can make more money in your business, in your life, and accelerate your growth into becoming the $1 million brand that I know is possible for you. Thank you, and my greatest appreciation to you. So let's get back to business, because this is something that I've encountered in business, and something that I don't question ever is my gut. You know, that feeling when you meet someone, or it could be a situation, or it could be an event. And I think this is something you got to be careful of, especially in the world that we're living in. How do you vet people and circumstances to put you, I'm going to say, ahead, but also that guarantees you loyalty and success in your life? So the right rooms, the right people, how do you, like, what do you tell yourself, or is there something that you follow to guarantee that you're on the right path or mixing with the right people? Because there's so many people that grab energy, not like the energy zappers.
So there's the energy suckers of the world.
There you
They're
go.
always going to be there. But I have this thing that I go by. I live by this. And I literally trust every single person until they give me a reason not to. I always trust. And live and let live. So if right now an individual works for me, I will also see after 30 days how much he worked for me. The guys who work for me more than they're getting paid for, those are the guys that later get paid for more than they're doing work for me. I make sure to take care of them. I reevaluate every single person in my business, in any business that I own, every 90 days. Every 90 days, I reevaluate them. If they deserve a raise, it's great. If they deserve to get fired, it's also great, and get replaced.
Find out quicker.
Right?
Yeah.
And possibly get a bonus. Who knows? But I reevaluate everybody every 90 days. And when they know that, it makes them just work harder. Now, within a few days, I can feel if somebody's for the task or not. I'm very good with picking tasks. And when I hire them, I also show them the company values. We have values in the business. For example, every 2 hours, you have 2 hours to answer me if I message you or if I called you. You have 2 hours to reply to me.
Awesome.
If you don't reply to me within 2 hours, you either died or you're fired, right? Every single week, all the management, like everybody in my management, we do something called a level 10 meeting. Level 10 meeting, we go through the meeting. It's a 90-minute meeting. Make sure everybody knows what they're supposed to do. We grade the meeting, the end of the meeting. Make sure that everybody is good.
Yes.
We say, hey, this was good, this was bad. If somebody's going on a tangent, we go, hey, scroll, scroll, You can't go, don't talk about that. That doesn't matter. It's not part of the meeting. But we keep people on track. And I'm very good at delegating, and I'm very good at management. So for me, and I'm also good at bringing a lot of smart people to work together, and I'm good at inspiring them to do better than they've done before. But I also ask for a resume. And if somebody gives me a resume and they had 20 jobs in the past 10 years.
Something to question. Yeah.
Right?
What about a social setting? How do you make sure that people are right? Because I'm sure your circle is small. Mine's very small, and I keep it that way, and I like it that way.
So I don't like it that way for me. I prefer it to be bigger. The problem is that I don't have the time. So I make sure that whoever is in my life, in my circle, they're working towards my goals. If they're not working on my goals, they can't be in my circle.
Interesting.
When you're running an 8-figure business, when you're running a 9-figure business, when you're thinking about exit, when you're thinking about developing, you don't have time to play.
Great.
I have to tell everybody what to do, almost like you're a dictator. You do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. Here's the tasks, get them done. If somebody's in my close circle, they have to be a part of what I'm doing. So all of my friends, I don't hang out with my friends. I do not see my friends. We have nothing to talk about. Because everything that I want to talk about that inspires me, they will not understand. So, people that come into your life, sometimes they come for a season. They're not there forever. They're not there to be there for the rest of your life.
I love it. Very powerful.
You could love them. You could help them from time to time. You could give them, but they cannot be in your life. I wake up, I have my morning routine. I break my day down into four routines. I break my day down into 4 pieces. The first 6 hours of the day is when I wake up at 3 a.m. to 9 a.m. That's when I'm handling my morning routine. That could be my reading. That could be my workout. That could be the ice. That could be a shower. That could be my food. That could be my water, my king shot, my coffee. That could be organizing things for the day, writing down tasks. That could be emails here and there for things that are personal.
Yes.
Getting things ready. But that's my morning. That's like my holy time. After that, then it's work time. Right? 9 a.m., boom, it's work. Then I go all the way to 3 o'clock. From 3 o'clock to 9 o'clock, that's my second shift of the day of work. Before 9 p.m., I calm down for about an hour. I eat 2 hours before I go to bed. So that way I'm on an empty stomach. Like I don't have to digest. So you don't have all the acids still working to break down the food. And then I go to sleep at 9. And then I either fall asleep at 9 or 9:30. Then I wake up again at 3. 5.5 to 6 hours. That's how long I sleep.
I love the discipline. I love the routine, and it's so important. Really is.
Middle of the day, I'll do anywhere from a 6-minute to a 15-minute power nap.
Do those work? Because recently I did, and I tried that, and it seems to work.
You go up to 30 minutes.
Yes.
If you go over 30 minutes, you're going into a deep sleep, which means you have to finish a full cycle, which is 90 minutes. After an hour and 10 minutes, you get to recovery mode, which is REM sleep, stage 4. That's when you release growth hormones. That's when you're in repair. And then you finish the 90 minutes. That way you don't wake up groggy. If you go to sleep and wake up after 40 minutes, you wake up groggy. You don't feel good.
Yes.
So a very small amount of time that I rest, which would be between 6 minutes to 15 minutes. I'm very good at clocking out. I literally just put on myself the eye cover. Boom, I knock out instantly and make sure the room quiet. And I have my own special sound that I put on. I play it. And when I play it, it's like hypnosis.
I think you're going to have to share that with your fan base.
Yeah.
I think you need to customize, brand it, and get it out there.
I'm going to record at some point my own
Good.
affirmations.
Especially
so
with your
people can
voice.
listen
I
to
feel
them.
like that will be a hit.
Yes. So I think, if people understand the way their body operates, the way the mind operates, the way time works, they don't understand time. They don't know when is the best time to sleep. Between 7 p.m. to 1, 2 a.m., every hour counts as 2. And I'll prove that to you right now. You ever fell asleep in the middle of the day at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, fell asleep for 2 hours, you woke up, you can't go back to bed.
Mm-hmm. I'm jet lagged now, so I know exactly what you mean.
Right?
But I haven't let myself sleep. I know what you mean.
And it's because every hour counts as 2. Back in the
Interesting.
day when it went dark, people would go to bed. People would sleep at that time. So if it got dark at 7, people would go to sleep. We didn't have lights. So we were meant to fall asleep. And then we wake up automatically. But some people sleep 8 hours. And if you sleep in 8 hours of your day, that's a third of your life.
Yeah,
which
it's crazy.
means if
why
you
people
if you
do
even
that.
live till 90, 30 years you were asleep. And that's
Shocking.
sad. That's sad. I mean, sleep is the cousin of death. We understand people love sleeping, but at the same time, it's like, why would you sleep your life away? One day you're going to go. One day you're not going to be here.
And let's speak about this because for those listening, there are so many people who waste time. I'm going to say the Netflix and chill people. We're talking to you.
Yes.
How important is time from your perspective? Like, let's dig deep.
Time is very important for me. I don't let anybody waste my time too.
I love it. And I want to speak to that too, because I want to know how you stop people wasting your time. What do you say? What do you do? But let's go back. So how important is time to you?
So for example, in our level 10 meeting, if somebody goes off, right, we say scroll, right? You have to get back. I'm not trying to offend you. We just don't have time.
It just is what it is.
In 90 minutes, we have to finish the call.
We're being gangster.
That's
I like
it.
it.
Now, if somebody gets offended because I don't have the time, then that means they don't value my time. And if they don't value my time, then they don't value me. Then we have no reason to even be friends. I'm go, 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 go. Nobody calls me just to chill. Nobody. I have no friends that will call me to chill. I say, look, if you have something for me that has to do with what I'm doing, we could speak. But you also have to kind of ghost the world for a little bit.
Yes.
You have to take time away from the world, because if your girlfriends, for example, feel like they could call you any second of the day and talk to you while they're doing laundry about nonsense and whatever you ate today, really, who cares?
Yes.
Oh, what did you have? Well, I had a toast with a little bit of avocado on it.
I can't even go there.
I'm
don't do
like,
that.
who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares what she ate? But you're showing that you're so bored.
Yes.
And some women say, well, I'm a stay-at-home mom. But, well, you're a stay-at-home mom. You can still stay at home and do other things.
Yes.
Right? Your kids are in school. Well, my kids are small. Well, I'm sure you could still do something.
Yes.
You could work out of home. And there is women that are stay-at-home moms that work out of the house.
Yes.
And are stay-at-home moms, and they go and they pick up their kids and they bring their kids back. And if they can't pick up the kids, they have somebody go pick them up because they're making money.
Do you think it's because a lot of these people don't understand the importance of time? Because time goes very fast. You got to value it. Like, what are your...
People don't have a purpose. And when you don't have a purpose, you're just like a leaf in the wind. Wherever the wind
agree.
blows, you go.
100%. I love that analogy. It's true.
That's it. The wind blows south, you go south. The wind blows west, you go west. That's it. You're not really living life because you don't have a purpose. But when people understand that they're here for a reason, they understand why they are here, right? Before you came to this life, and you ask anybody, why are you here? I don't know. Well, everything happens for a reason, right? Yes. Well, people meet for a reason, right? Yes. It's all meant to be, right?
Why do you think we met, by the way?
Because you're a Jew.
True. Very true.
But, and then you ask them, okay, so if everything is meant to be and everything is meant to happen and you're meant to be here, aren't you supposed to be here for some reason? God sent you here on a mission. Before he sent you here, he sent you, he whispered in your ear and he said, hey, you're going to go down there and you're going to do 1, 2, 3 for me, okay? and you said, okay, and he sent you here. When you arrived here, he cleared your memory. When you were born and you arrive here, you now have to figure out what it is that he sent you here for. And the reason majority of people are not happy is because they're not following the mission. And the mission, we all know the mission because we call it our dream. And our dream is our mission. And as long as we go against our dreams, we're going against God. And when you go against God, you are destined to fail. You are destined to have a life full of unhappiness.
This is such a beautiful concept, and I'm so glad we're speaking about this because I feel there's so many people who are absolutely lost. And I love how you spoke about how you can reach people through your content. But for these people that are a bit lost and don't know their dream or don't know their purpose, and age also comes into account. I mean, you get people 50s, 60s who are still trying to work it out. For them, it's frustrating. So speak to them. What can they do to find that purpose? Because I agree, you are going against God.
Yeah, of course. Well, you have to first know who you are.
How do you work that out?
So if I ask you right now, who are you? What are you going to say? What's the normal response from people?
They say their name, or they say their work, or they say...
No, when someone says, who are you? You don't say your work.
No, but it stems back to...
What do you say?
Justine.
Yeah, Justine, what's your last name?
Pogroski.
Okay. Justine Pogroski, those are just two words. They're called names that your parents gave you.
Yes.
But when you say today, I'm not going to show up to the podcast, is that Justine not showing up to the podcast? Or you not showing up to the podcast? When you say my arm, is it your arm or Justine's arm?
My arm.
Who am I? Who are you?
Well, I think we all have, for getting into this, I believe we all have a spirit and a soul, and as they would say, neshama in Hebrew. And I think exactly what you said, if we don't follow it, then there's a problem there. There's something off.
We live in a physical world.
Yes.
We understand that. We have a soul.
Yes.
We have an intellect as humans. But we're spiritual creatures, and that's the soul. Now, most people, when they wake up in the morning, they do everything for their body. They put on a nice watch, a nice shirt, maybe work out. That's for the body. The soul doesn't care what time it is. It has no reason. It doesn't live by time. It doesn't. It doesn't care for the shirt. You know, God is like Wi-Fi. You can't see him, but you could connect to him everywhere. And the people that don't wake up in the morning, the sun will never shine on them. But you have to wake up, get on your knees, put your head down on the bed, and thank God for the fact that you woke up.
Love it.
You have to thank him. And then you have to start doing things for the soul. Us as Jews, we put on our tefillin.
Yes.
You know, we put on our talit, tzitzit, we put on our head, and we pray. And we connect to God. We're doing something for the soul. It's very, very important that people understand that the body and the soul are business partners. The only way for the body to be good is if the soul is good, and vice versa. You cannot separate the two. But at the same time, you also have the mind, which is your intellect. So if you start separating between the three, eventually you will suffer. So your body has to be good and healthy. Your soul needs to be connected. These connections, people lost the ability to bond and connect. They, even when they sleep with people, they use it for fun, recreational, not to actually procreate, you know. It's important that they understand that that was meant to have kids. So if you still want to have fun, okay, but it's with the person that you're having children with.
Yes.
But when you use it for just fun, then you're completely getting lost. People are losing themselves from all direction. You see them overweight. You see them not connecting to God.
Yeah.
They don't know who God is. Well, if I can't see God, then I don't believe in him. And they're trying to alter their reality by saying, I don't believe in anything. Then how did you get here? Before this life, do you know where you came from before this life?
Tell me.
Do you know? No. And you know where you're going after this life? When we die, do you know 100%?
No.
No. Before you came to this life, did you come with anything?
No.
You bring an investment? When you leave this life, do you take anything with you? No. So by definition, in this lifetime, you didn't gain anything and you don't lose anything, right? Because you came with nothing, you're leaving with nothing. Now, the problem is that people don't know where they came from and they don't know where they're going, but they also don't know what they're doing here. And that's where people start really getting screwed up in the head. The reason we love to sleep so much is because sleep is the cousin of death. And in our sleep, we could do many things, but you never die in your sleep, because if you die in your sleep, you'll die in real life.
Yes, I've heard that.
Which means that in the way I see things, because I like to go meditate and connect to the quantum realm, that's where I grab ideas. The way I see it is, if you don't know where you came from, you don't know where you're going. Sleep is the cousin of death, and it's the thing we love to do most. So maybe when you're waking up, you're going to sleep. When you're going to sleep, you're actually waking up.
Very interesting concept.
In our Jewish Bible, it says that when you die, the soul leaves the body and goes to God. And the soul will ask God for the things the body is asking for. But God says, sure, give it to the body. And the soul says, no, you don't know what he's doing to me. He's destroying me. So he doesn't gift you. You're not good to your soul. The body will not receive the things that it wants. The body wants sex. The body wants to eat. The body wants to go to the restroom. The body wants nice clothes. The body wants to make money. The body. What about the soul?
So important. And it's interesting because when I did this retreat in Byron, that's exactly what they taught us. So they call it the quadrinity, which is your intellect, your soul, your spirit, your inner child that we all have and that we've been brought up with, which connects to things like, when you were little, the story of the snake. If you guys haven't watched the last podcast, you got to find out about that. And it's all interconnected. And if they're not all working in tandem, then you've got a problem.
And we're all connected too.
Yes.
All humans are connected. Everything in this world, if you take it, you break it down, it's all broken down into little atoms.
Yes.
And those little atoms are all protons, neutrons, and electrons. All of us. Albert Einstein said, if we could use 100% of our brain, we could walk through the wall. Because we're all made of the same thing. You could stand at a store and feel like somebody's staring at you, and you look back and you look right into their eyes. You felt it. You felt the energy. You felt the frequencies. You felt the vibration.
Yes.
You felt it. People talk about the law of attraction. That's a secondary law. The first law is the law of vibration. Everything around us is moving. Which means that if you want something, you have to run in the frequencies of what you want to be in. So people say you have to have the right mindset. That word mindset derived from the word setting your mind to the frequencies of where it is you want to be. If you're running in the right frequencies, you're going to get there. You'll get whatever you want. Money is also a form of energy.
Yes.
You could get any amounts of money you want. It's so easy for me to make money. People don't understand how easy it is to make money. It is so easy to make money. They don't understand how easy it is to make money. They don't understand. Every single person that is rich was already rich up here. I believe that being poor is a sickness. It's a disease. Rich people, in here, I had nothing. I didn't have a penny to my name. I had nowhere to start.
So what was
But
the
I had
switch?
this.
What was the thinking in your brain?
I believed I deserved it all. I believed I was better than everybody else. I truly believed that I could do better than anyone else out there doing anything. And then I just picked a path. I knew if I was going to be a gangster, I was going to be the baddest gangster out there.
I love it.
I knew if I was going to be a fighter, I'll be the baddest fighter out there. I wanted to get inside of the UFC. Then I realized back then they weren't paying much. This was, 15 years ago, 16 years ago. They weren't paying much. I think they were paying like $10,000 for 3 fights. So I'm not going to go break my face to get $10,000. It doesn't make sense. 10 million, sure. Put me in there with whoever you want. But $10,000 doesn't make sense. I don't care what kind of great fighter you are. You get hit in the head enough times. It is what it is. Later on in life, you're going to feel it. I've been through many fights. It's enough for me. The only time I need to fight is if I need to defend my family. Other than that, somebody comes to fight with me, I'm like, hey, buddy, you're right. There's no need to fight. You're right. You're completely right. By the way, why are you having a hard day? I'm a mentor. Do you need some help?
I love it. And going back to this, what do you think the difference is between a 7-figure entrepreneur and an 8-figure entrepreneur?
Mindset. Mindset. And a lot of people talk about entrepreneurs, everybody's an entrepreneur. So many people believe they own a business. They don't. They don't own a business. What they have is a high-paying job, and they are the business. Because 90+% of the people out there that own a business, they are the business. If they didn't show up tomorrow, there would be no business. That's the truth. They believe they have a business. It's a high-paid job. And I tell people, not everybody needs to own a business. Not everybody's meant to own a business.
Yes.
And not everybody needs the stress of owning a business. You become the papa of everybody. You're like, yeah, but look at Elon. Are you kidding me? Elon sleeps 2 hours a night sometimes.
Yes.
Elon sleeps at his factory. Elon does not do anything. He doesn't get to see his kids barely once in a while. Doesn't have time for anything. He can't keep a wife. Like, it is what it is. He devoted his life to literally just one mission. That's it. One mission. It's to make the world a better place. Love Elon. Very inspired by him. I would not want the pressure that he has.
I'm going to say same.
He has no life. He devoted his life and risking his life right now for others. And a lot of people don't. And you can't make everybody happy too, because so many people are hating on him. Where I'm like, are you kidding me? He's worth $400 billion. I'm like, hell yeah, give him another $100 billion. Who cares? He doesn't even do anything with the money.
No.
He doesn't. He's looking to help people. And I say, look, if you're going to own a business, that you're going to be the business, it's probably best you just work for somebody. Be extremely hardworking. Show them that you're putting 120% in there. Don't ask for a raise. Show them that you're a part of the business. Eventually, they'll promote you. They will depend on you. They will they'll never let you go. They'll always give you raises. What I always have done, and it's even in my relationship with my wife, is I do so much that she depends on me with everything. If I were to leave, her whole life will fall apart. I made sure of that. And when I met her, I told her to do the same to me.
I love that. Beautiful.
So that way, there is no way of leaving.
It's beautiful. It's very old school too. I think it doesn't exist enough.
Look, I'm about to turn 35. We've been together for a year and a half. I'm not a young boy. It's not like we met at the age of 18 and it was my high school sweetheart. And,
yes.
I've been with people. She's had a, boyfriend. It is what it is. So now you have to see, how do you connect? Right? And the only way to connect is to know that there is no way out. And
do you think it's the same with business? Like actually,
yes, everything.
Yes. But going back to entrepreneurship, what do you think is the biggest lie about entrepreneurship that people still believe?
Well, they believe that it's a happy time. They believe that being an entrepreneur, you're going to feel great all the time.
Yes.
We go through pressure 24/7. I have to calm myself sitting in the ice, and taking cold showers multiple times a day. I have to do special breathing patterns to relax my body, to get more oxygen in my body. I work out, I run. I constantly have to stimulate my mind so I could think about things. I do everything that I can to get into a state called alpha state, which means that that's the time that I could retain information. So every time I wake up, you're in alpha state, and then I retain all the information that I read at that time. So I have to educate myself. And then you have to be a babysitter to every single employee that you have.
Yes.
And you have to hear their problems and their needs and their family problem. And, this guy, his wife said this, and that girl, her husband said that. And this person, that happened to them, and their cousin said this about that affected their day. You're all day a babysitter. And it's a big lie. People think, I want to be an entrepreneur. And it's crazy because some people, they just own a business, and they are the business, and they call themselves an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur because I'm a mentor. I have a construction business. I am a real estate developer. I have mentorship for people where I teach them sales is one of them. Second mentorship is mindset. Third one, I do one-on-one coaching. Another one is I teach people fitness. Business one-on-one coaching I do with people. I also used to have stores, restaurants, and nightclubs, different kind of service companies, many of them. I have real estate projects that I do, like normal flips or rental properties, Airbnb. I mean, that's an entrepreneur. I'm doing music, I'm doing movies. That is an entrepreneur. That's somebody who's constantly, every single day, every single morning,
innovating
is on.
and excelling.
Yes. I've invented products. I have products in the market that are my patents.
You're coming out with a water brand.
No. I'm
Stay
coming
tuned.
out. I'm coming out right now with the King Shot, which is, again, to help people. But I got to tell you, everything that I've ever done was to help others.
I love it. I think that's so key.
All about helping others. You will never do things for yourself. I just posted a video where I was telling somebody in a podcast, if you tell yourself tomorrow you'll be 9 a.m. at the gym, you're probably not going to show up. But if you tell your buddy you're going to be at the gym tomorrow at 9 a.m., you're going to be there because you don't want to let him down. But you have to learn how to hold accountability to yourself.
Oh, that's so important.
Be that person for yourself.
Yes.
Not for other people. Screw what other people think. People care what other people think, thinking that they care. They don't care about you. You don't matter to them. If I stop posting tomorrow, within probably a month, people will forget who I am.
Yes.
I have to constantly post. I have to post hours and hours of content per week just for people to remember who I am. That's how crazy it is, because the world is full of distractions. And the better you get, the higher you get up there, the more people are going to hate you. Not just hate on you, but they're absolutely going to hate you. Look at his beard, look at his hair, look at his eyes. They dissect you. But it is what it is. It's part of being up at the top. If they still speak about you, that means that you're still alive. You haven't died yet.
Yes.
And some people, nobody speaks about them, which means they have died. They just haven't been buried yet. And that's when you stop following your mission. You stop following your dream.
How important is it to be absolutely obsessed with what you do? Because I know we referred to your relationship, right, before. And I think you got to show up both. How you are in your relationship, or to yourself even, is how you show up at work. Same with body, same with health, same with fitness.
I'm absolutely obsessed. Obsessed to the point where it's a do or die.
Okay.
I'm either going to die or I'm going to do it. And there is no such thing for me as having to be motivated to do something. I love what I do. That's why I tell people, do what you love to do. You're not going to work a day in your life. Do what you love to do. You will absolutely be so good at it. But pick one thing. You cannot be the whole band. You cannot be the drummer. You cannot be the singer, the guitarist. Pick one instrument. What it is that you're dreaming, pick one instrument and go with it.
Yes.
You will get the farthest. If you look at yourself and you go this way, zigzagging, you're not going to get that far. You go straight.
Tunnel vision.
You will go the farthest and the quickest. And I also tell everybody, you want to go fast, go alone. You want to get far, take some good friends with you.
Brilliant. So where are we going?
All right. Israel is waiting for us.
Exactly. It's been so awesome. Like, I think the one thing about you that is so special is your energy. Thank you so much for everything you're doing for so many people, boys and girls, women, men. And I'd love for you to finish with like something, a little message that you can give people if they are building their brand, their $1 million brand or $1 billion brand, because I feel like $1 million these days will buy you one of Ben's waters to come. But give us a little message.
I think, like I said before, whoever is at home listening right now, don't get distracted. Go tunnel vision. Do what you love to do. Do it with a passion. But I want you to remember one thing. Is when you are chasing something, we release a great amount of dopamine chasing it. When we receive it, when you receive the house, when you receive the car, when you receive the person that you want to be with, the release of dopamine drops. It does not get released anymore. And we get used to things. So there's always going to be the next step up. When I got to 100,000, I wanted 1 million. When I got to the 1 million, I wanted 100 million. When I got to 100 million, I wanted more and more and more. And I could tell you that at one point in time, I just retired because I realized that there's no end to it. And I came back just to make a change in the world, to help the world understand that you could be happy doing something.
Yes.
And imagine yourself right now stressing all day about doing something. You might get 5% or 10% farther doing it with stress, but you did not enjoy it. And if you do it calmly, you'll get to enjoy the whole process. So enjoy the process, never delay your happiness, and don't worry, you will get there as long as you don't stop.
Amazing. And I know you're doing a million things. Your coaching looks incredible.
Yes.
I know we've got to do some live events, I think, at the studio for you. Tell people how they can reach. I know you're on Instagram. We're going to post this, but what have you got coming and how can people follow you? Give us the website address.
Yeah, so multiple things that I teach, as you guys know, as I said it a second ago, is I mentor men and today women as well. Women for sales and one-on-one mentorships, CEO women that I'm mentoring at the moment, women that want to expand their business and grow their business. In sales, I'm teaching men and women, and I'm opening up the sales class, which is going to be within about 3 weeks from today. And then on top of it, I have the mindset, but I have decided to integrate the mindset into the sales. Because in order to be a good salesperson,
yes,
you have to have the right mindset. That's a numbers game, and it is what it is. But I teach things there that nobody has ever heard of before and have done before. And it will absolutely change you. As a salesperson, you'll become the best of the best. And within, I would say, a month or two, I could change somebody's numbers like this. And if anybody wants to check me out, you could check me out on Instagram. That's where I actually answer people and communicate with people. And it's King_Azoulay, Azoulay. So King Azoulay. And it's the same everywhere, which is my YouTube, where you can watch my long form, where I teach a lot of things, a lot of free content, free teaching. You can go up there, you can see what it is that I'm doing, what I'm all about, and enjoy. And if you need any help, any guidance, you can come to me, message me, let me know you've seen me on Justine's show.
I just got to improve my Hebrew, so
yes.
Just saying.
Yes, Bruchim Habayim.
There you go. But Ben, thank you so much. It's been an honor. I can't wait to collab more. I think you are just awesome. And we got to get you to Australia, I think, while I'm still there.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for having
Amazing.
me.
Thank you for coming on the show, Ben.
Thank you. Hey, we're live.
We gotta wait.